Hello everyone, how are you doing? This is a supplemental video to go along with the article that just came out concerning the hypersonic missile that Iran got with the technologies of Iran and also Russia, but they actually got them from the United States of America. Yes, like all our top secrets, they're not secret. And let me just go into this. Here are some of the key factual takeaways from the article. Missiles, Secrets, and Seals of Approval, how ANSI and ANAB, the American National Standards Institute, the American National Crediting Board, opened the door to China and Russia. Each point is grounded in verifiable sources and highlights a serious national security vulnerabilities. This, and please forgive me, I don't know whether this is going to turn out right side when I upload it onto YouTube, but this is it. This is going to be the actual thumbnail that goes along with this. The article has come out. I'm waiting to see that if it was going to be internationally published because it needs to be out there in this information. You have organizations, government agencies like the Department of Homeland Security. You have the FDA, Department of Commerce, and also the DOJ sit on the American National Standards Institute, the American National Crediting Board, not just as members, but as customers. So President Trump changed the orchestra leaders, but the music remains the same. And here you go, ladies and gentlemen. And this all correlates with this press release. The press release will be in the description so that you see it. We're just waiting for to get verification on it getting put into the AP News, New York Times, etc. Chinese hackers stole 614 gigabytes of U.S. naval missile data in 2018. It's a fact. On June 8th, 2018, the Washington Post reported that Chinese government hackers stole 614 gigabytes of sensitive data from a contractor working with the Naval Undersea Warfare Center. Stolen data include plans for a hypersonic anti-ship missile, submarine warfare systems, and cryptographic material. The American National Standards Institute and the American National Crediting Board and the International Accreditation Forum, along with its sister organization in Australia, the International Laboratory Accreditation Cooperation. Let me go back. ANSI and ANAB are the founders of the International Accreditation Forum, incorporated in Delaware. They are associations of accreditation bodies, both national and international, that are equivalent to ANSI-ANAB, who are also underwriters for both the IAF and ILAC, which means they take full legal responsibility. They've come out with a joint forces. I think they maintain the IAF, but they changed the ILAC to GLOBAC, GLOBAC, which is Global Accreditation Cooperation. Another farce, all right? And here we go. ANSI and ANAB and IF and ILAC were the certification gatekeepers. Fact. The American National Standards Institute and the American National Crediting Board were the accreditation bodies overseeing U.S. quality and security certifications. These bodies founded and underwrote the International Accreditation Forum and its global sibling, ILAC, the International Laboratory Accreditation Cooperation in Australia, which allowed foreign access to sensitive U.S. systems under the guise of accreditation and voluntary consensus standards. You cannot make this up, ladies and gentlemen. Number 3. The International Accreditation Forum was chaired by a communist Chinese national between 2015 and 21, an American-based company like the IF Incorporated in Delaware that had federal agencies and corporations on board, like the DOD, as a matter of fact. Fact, Zhao Jinwu, a Chinese national, chaired the IF from 2015 to 21. He also certified the Wuhan Laboratory in 2017 under the China National Intelligence Law, Article number 7. Zhao was legally required to report any accessed information to the Chinese Communist Party. So the China National Accreditation Services, which he was the chief executive of, at the same time he was the IF chairman, is equivalent to the accreditation of ANSI-ANAB. U.S. agencies sat on ANSI-ANAB boards during Chinese leadership. Fact. While Zhao Jinwu led the IF, U.S. federal agencies such as the DOD, FBI, DHS, FDA sat on ANSI-ANAB's boards. These agencies indirectly enabled Chinese oversight of the U.S. defense and quality systems by maintaining ANSI-ANAB as a trusted certification body. Boeing, and by the way, in 2018, ANSI took over complete control over ANAB. It's one body now, but two names. Boeing missile programs relied on these vulnerable accreditation chains. In fact, Boeing's hypersonic missile programs, along with other advanced technologies like bunker buster bombs, were developed under certification regimes approved by ANSI, ANAB, and IAF, the very systems infiltrated by adversarial actors. Boeing's commercial airlines division did not get their AS9100 certificate for aerospace, and they were working without it for over 22 years, okay? You have an organization that's doing internal operations, and we do not know if that paperwork exceeds expectations when it comes to international standards. I have a feeling it does not. And the whole thing about the premise of the International Standards Organization and those accreditations that go along with it, like AS9100 for aerospace, ISO 1345 for medical, ISO 9001, 2050, just a standard operation for function of your business, okay? The whole thing about ISO is to have consistency throughout the industries. So if Boeing was not using AS9100, but demanding that from their suppliers, which they were in 2002 to present, and they just started to go after their AS9100 certificate in 2020 for August, you've got a serious problem. You have 22 years of quality neglect. Okay, on top of it, they gave on-site auditing to a piece of paper for special processes like heat treat, welding, also non-destructive testing, penetrant inspection to ensure those parts are not cracked. They said, send in your certificates, send in your parts, and if need be or need arises, we'll come out to visit you. That means when the plane crashes, okay, like when the Alaska door popped off, and you had David Calhoun, former CEO, but he's still a board member on Boeing's board, and I'm a shareholder, so I take offense to this because he didn't know what the difference between well, he does know the engine because he was an accountant at GE, at Aerospace, but he doesn't know the nose, he doesn't know the composite material. Oh, sorry, he knows about golf, so maybe if he takes his golf club that's made with aerospace materials like graphite, fiberglass, titanium, also aluminum, maybe that's what he did. Unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to continue on. Globlac, and here we go, was formed post-2021 to evade responsibility. And it's a fact, after rising scrutiny, ANSI, ANAB, and IF created Globlac, a corporate umbrella that diffuses accountability by allowing each body to shift blame to the next. The who's responsible loophole now includes ANSI, ANAB pointing to the IAF, IF to ILAC, and now all of them to Globlac. Number 7, Christopher Wray warned about Chinese espionage in 2017 when he got on board, promoted there by President Donald Trump. The FBI was a member of ANSI-ANAB. Fact, FBI Director Christopher Wray warned Congress about Chinese threats from the time he got in 2017 to 2025 when he left. Yet during this exact time, from 2017 to 21, the FBI sat on ANSI-ANAB's board, which is legally connected to the IAF, then led by CCP-aligned individual. This makes many of what Wray's warnings to Congress undermined by FBI's own affiliations. The missile data leaks were systematic, not just cyber espionage. Fact. The leaks were not just the result of hacking, they were enabled through legal, systematic access via the certification and accreditation pipeline. The process is akin to giving away secrets under the label of trust and voluntary consensus standards. The U.S. relied on foreign-tied certification for defense technology. Fact. Sensitive defense contractors, including those working on hypersonic missile technology, relied on third-party certifications instead of secure, government-only oversight, introducing massive vulnerabilities. And number 10, a clear set of policy solutions was proposed. The article calls for removing foreign nationals from U.S. defense-related boards, placing ANSI-ANAB under direct U.S. oversight, enacting domestic-only certification for defense contractors, terminating U.S. agency participation in IF-linked bodies, and having Daryl Gilberman be the spearhead person of this program. Because without me, this is never going to work. Because you know what they need? They need competency, integrity, and the truth, and honesty, real honesty. Not when you hear the word robust, not when you hear the word transparency. If you hear those words, run like hell. 203-556-1493. My name is Daryl Guberman, quality professional and expert, and we look forward to hearing from you, and I thank you.